Hello everyone, this is the first video in a series of videos I'll be doing that will focus on a Mount and Blade Warband campaign with the Florist mod pack installed. Now I'll be playing through everything. You're going to see everything. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to, if I lose a battle, I'm not going to not post that video just because I lost a battle. You will see everything. You hear about Calradia, a land torn between rival sovereignties battling each other for supremacy, a haven for knights and mercenaries and cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key of your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Now I have to choose my background information. My father would be, let's say, a veteran warrior. Actually, yeah, I'll make my father a veteran warrior. While when I was young, I trained as a, let's go with, you know, I'm gonna go with a mummer. Later, I become a gladiator, and I would adventure because of a sense of no, I don't like that. I was forced out of my home. Okay, so my biography from that is, you were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was a veteran warrior. As a child, your family scrabbled out of a meager living from your father's wages as a guardsman to the local lord. It was not an easy existence, and you were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourself in the streets with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as a mummer. As a boy growing out of childhood, you attached yourself to a troupe of wandering entertainers, going from town to town, setting up mummers' shows. It was a life of hard work, selling, begging, and stealing your living from the punters who flocked to watch your antics. Over time, you became a performer, well capable of attracting a crowd. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a gladiator. Then, as a young adult, though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you'd become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. You earned applause and dinars in brutal contests against men and beasts, and grew to crave both rewards. Drunk on the bloodlust of the cheering crowd, you learned to tease the opponent and draw out your fight, before eventually seizing victory with savage flair. Your agile moves and flamboyant presence mark you as both warrior and artist. But soon everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was being forced out of your home. Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. However, you know you cannot go back. There's nothing to go back to. Whatever home you may have had is gone now, and you must face the fact that you're out in the world, alone to fend for yourself. As a common man, you may face some difficulties establishing yourself as an equal among Calradia's great lords. Well, that's how I like it. So, I'll be using the troop tree of expanded troops to give me more troops and more options from the Florist mod pack, and I'll be the Rodok Republic. Now, I have to choose my attributes, where some were pre-chosen based on my decisions before, but for myself, I'll be putting 1 in strength and 1 into agility, and then I'd rather have more in strength, so I'll put 2 more in strength, getting ready to level up my other stats. Put riding to 3, iron flesh to 3, power strike to 3, and then power throw to 1. Because I do plan on using throwing weapons, simply because I feel they're quite useful, especially javelins. Okay, now I have to change how my character looks. Let's make him a little older. Give him some darker hair. You came by ship, skirting the cliffs where the Rodok Highlands meet the seas. Much of the coastline was obscured by tendrils of fog that snaked down the river valleys, but occasionally you caught sight of a castle watchtower rising above the mist, and on one occasion a beacon fire burning to warn of an enemy warband. You knew that you were relatively safe at sea, as you were too far south to risk encountering the sea raiders who trouble the coast of the Nordic lands, but it was still a relief to reach the Selver estuary gateway to the port of Jelkala, and see a Rodock galley riding at anchor, its pennants fluttering in the evening breeze. You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Jelkala and fall asleep quickly. However, you awake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hairs on your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbards. Let's see, they started me with a one-handed sword, a shield, and a crossbow. Well, that's unpleasant. I feel like that fight should have been harder. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street, and then finally, convinced you have not been followed, comes near you to speak. Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven by banditry, by war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontiers, fewer men to keep an eye on the streets, but I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls who helps them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particular tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking. A lad from a prominent house out alone after dark in times like these? Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here and didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse, but he's family. So what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either, and I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Calradia to seek your fortune. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, and teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? I am interested. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted. I'll warrant you'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here looking for a bit of work that's more interesting than tilling the toil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay, so take the purse of 100 dinar. Consider it an advance in your reward. Go around to the villages and use the money to hire some help. I'll reckon that you need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. Very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find again in the tavern here in Jelkala. After you've got your group together, then we'll speak about what we do next. I'm taking my first quest. Okay, I need to go gather men from the nearby villages. Okay. Recruit volunteers. 3 will follow me, so I recruited them. Next, we'll be going to Ruldi, as I don't want to travel too far from the main city, so I can hurry up with this quest. There's a tournament in Suno that I do not plan on attending. Okay, I now have 6 volunteers, which means I can finally go back and talk to this guy. See, this quest is at the beginning of every time you play Mount Blade Warband, every campaign, this is the first quest you're allowed to do. And I hate this quest because the enemies you fight in this quest are so easy. Usually you could do it by yourself without these men. And I just feel like it should be a bit more of a challenge. Where is he? Here he is. Very well, I shall hunt for the bandits. Now, around Jelko. Oh, there they are. What do you want? I've been looking for you. Tell me where you keep your prisoners and I'll let you go. Robert says, ha, those prisoners are only going free if you pay the ransom. Did you bring any silver? No, but I brought steel. Oh, that was funny. I liked that. Okay, so This is an obvious win, so I'm just gonna flat out charge the enemy. And here we go. Actually, I really like this battlefield and how it looks. I like the hills and the grass. Okay, now I'm confused. I think I went the wrong way. Oh, there they are. Well, let's see if I can get one of these guys. And I did. Success. Okay. That was a pretty easy battle, as you could see. You were victorious. We had no casualties. They had 3 killed and 1 wounded, and I killed the 3 that died. The robber is, A, spare me, spare my life, let me go. I'll go far away from here and learn an honest trade, and you'll never hear of me again. I'll spare your life, but in exchange I want information. Either you or your mates kidnapped the brother of a prominent merchant in town. Tell me where you're hiding him and give me your word that you'll stop troubling the people of these parts and you can go free. Oh, bless you, sir, bless you. We've done the lad no harm. We've been keeping him in our hideout near Booveran. I'll describe the area nearby in detail so there's no mistaking it. Okay, and I get all his equipment. Woo. That's the only piece better than mine. But hey, some equipment's better than none, and I can always just take it to the city and sell it. Now, before I go there, I'm going to sell all my stuff so I can sell everything I get from raiding their place. Woo, 42 dinar. That'll buy me, like, enough cabbage to feed, like, 3 people for a day. Woo. Now I can attack the hideout. You approach the hideout. The looters don't appear to have spotted you yet, and you could still sneak away unnoticed. The difficult approach to the site down a narrow defile means that only a handful of troops in your party will be able to join in the attack, and they will be unable to bring their horses. If your initial attack fails, the looters will easily be able to make their escape and disperse. Do you wish to attack the hideout or wait for another occasion? Obviously, I'm going to attack. The one thing I hate about attacking hideouts is it's always like this. You're not allowed to bring a horse. Okay, he is not dead. That could have ended badly for me. Really? One of my people just went down to a looter. While I'm at it, the red and orange writing means that one of my people were either killed or wounded, and the blue writing means that either one of their people were killed or wounded. Just so people who haven't played the game understand. I believe that's the... oh, nope, that's another looter. And I think... yep, this is the brother. Merchant's brother. Thank you, sir, for pursuing me from those fiends. Did my brother Angelica put you onto their tracks? Yes, I told him that I would find you. I advise you to return to your family as quickly as you can, and be careful on the road. With their retreat cut off, the looters fall one by one to your determined attack. Their hideout and their ill-gotten gains are now yours. Oh, is this sword better than mine? Oh, why yes. Oh. And it's got a lot longer of a range, which I'd prefer. I hate how short that sword was. Now I got food to feed my people. Oh wait, that was an okay piece of equipment. Oop. And I even got a new piece of equipment. It's a good day. It's a good day. Whee! Free stuff. I'm not even picking this stuff up. I'm out. Yep, I'm out of room in my inventory. Well then. Now some of my soldiers are ready to upgrade. You see, once a soldier gains enough experience, they can upgrade to the next level. I like to even these out. These are both infantry level 2s, but they have different upgrade trees. So they can each of these can upgrade to a different. Once it can upgrade it, we'll be able to upgrade to either a level 3 archer, although they're different archers, or a level 3 infantry. Ooh, and this one can upgrade to a. Oh, I didn't level up. Can upgrade to a spearman, which is great for countering enemy cavalry. Okay, now to turn this quest. I'm getting chased. Okay, they stopped. I'd fight 21 looters. That sounds like fun to me, actually.
Then, eh?
So, just do it while I get a chance. See, I take any fight where I think I can win solely because of the fact that, well, I get more equipment to sell, I get money for winning the fight, and then my people even gain more experience, so my army becomes stronger overall. And, you know, the people who died, I see it as, hey, they died. They weren't going to upgrade anyway. They weren't that good. And I'm missing the fight. Well, at least we're winning so far. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, there went my entire army. Well, let's see how quick I can make this. There's one. Okay, uh-oh. Yeah, I should probably not get surrounded like this. Yeah, that's about the worst thing you can do, is just get in a giant group of people. Especially with low-level equipment like I have. I really expected this to be much easier. Uh-oh, I might lose this. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose this. Wow. That's slightly upsetting. Well, at least you see what I meant, but I'm not gonna hide when I lose battles. Okay, so they took me as prisoners. Okay, that's nice. Carry me as far away from my quest return as possible. Okay. That's one of the things I hate about this game, even though it makes it easier. I was just a prisoner, yet for some reason I still have all my equipment. They took like 3 things, and then I'm walking around with them, and one day I find a chance to escape, but for some reason I still have all my weapons. It's just never, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, well I wasn't very far into the game anyway. It's not like that's a big deal that I lost those people. Now we get my money for doing this quest, and this guy's happy. Remember how I told you that the bandits had an ally inside the walls? I think I know who it is. The captain of the watch, no less. Some months ago, this captain, seeing the amount of profit we merchants were making from trade across the frontiers, decided to borrow some money to sponsor a caravan. Unfortunately, like many who are new to commerce, he failed to realize the great profit only comes with great risk. So he sank all his money into the most expensive commodities, and of course his caravan was captured, looted, and he lost everything. As a consequence, it seems our captain turned to villainy to recoup his fortunes. I suppose I'd do the same if the heavens forbid I ever faced indebtedness and ruination. Now any watch captain worth his salary will have a few thieves and robbers on his payroll to inform on the rest, but our captain decides to employ these bastards wholesale. He brings them into the town, lets them do as they will, and takes a share of their take. You've heard of poachers turning gamekeepers? Well, in the unfortunate land of Calradia, sometimes gamekeepers will turn poachers. Luckily, there are still a few brave, honest souls in the watch who've told me how he works. Now, here's my plan. I could bring this to the attention of Doe Gravith, lord of the city, but that would mean an inquiry, my word against the captain's, and witnesses can be brought and evidence destroyed. Or maybe the whole thing will be forgotten if the enemy comes across the border again. And I'll get for my troubles a knife in the ribs. In time of war, you see, a king's eye wanders far from his domain, and his subjects suffer. So I've got another idea. I've got a small group of townsfolk together, some men in my employ, and some others who've lost relatives to these bandits, and we'll storm the captain's home, and bring him in chains before Doe Gravith, hopefully with a few captured bandits to explain how things stack up. All I need now is someone to lead my little army into battle, and I can't think of anyone better than you. So what do you say? How do I know that you're telling me the truth? Oh, well, I suppose it's possible that I found a dozen bandits who are willing to give their lives to give a passing stranger a false impression of life in old Jelkala. Well, I guess you can't really know if my word is good, but I reckon you can't. You've learned by now that my money is good, and there's another 100 dinars, and maybe a bit more there waiting for you if you can do me this little favor. All right, I'll lead your men. Splendid. It's been a long time since I staked so much on a single throw of the dice. Frankly, I find it exhilarating. My men are ready to move on your word. Are you ready? Yes, give them the sign. Good. Now strike hard. Strike fast, and the captain and his henchmen won't know what hit them. May the heavens be with you. You leave the tavern and go out to the streets. Nervous-looking young men waiting in every street corner. You can see they have daggers and clubs concealed under their clothes, and catch a mixture of fear, anticipation, and pride in the quick looks they throw at you as you pass by. Praying that your enemies have not been alarmed by this all too obvious bunch of plotters, you check your weapons for one last time and prepare yourself for the action ahead. It's time, lads, up and at 'em. Okay. Where did they come from? Oh, maybe they were over there. All these people are falling are just these random people who have absolutely no relation to me. I really don't care if they fall. That's a lot of people. Okay. I hate these people using their hands. It annoys me. It's like, what do you expect to do? Punch them out? You're a girl and you're using your hands. And you're in a dress. Please put on some pants if you're going to go fighting. The remaining few bandits scatter off to the town's narrow alleys, only to be hunted down by one by one by the angry townsfolk. Making sure that your victory is complete and all the wounded have been taken care of, you and the merchants head to his house to review the day's events. Ha! Well done. I saw at least 3 of the enemy go down before you. Keep fighting like that and you'll make quite a name for yourself in this land. Unfortunately, about 9 of my lads got themselves wounded. I should go look on them. Let every villain learn to fear the name Fancy J. That does not sound scary at all. Yes, yes, now a couple of my boys have the watch captain pinned down in a back room with a knife at his throat. I'll need to go drag him before Doe Gravith and explain what this breach of the peace is all about. You don't need to be part of that, though. I'll tell you what, if all goes well, I'll meet you in the tavern in Controlli and let you know how it all came out. If you don't see me in the tavern, but instead see my head on a spike over the city gate, I'll assume you know enough to stay out of town for a while and forget this whole episode ever happened. So, hopefully, we'll meet again. He's quite optimistic, isn't he? First I'm going to sell all my stuff, and I'm going to go meet him in the tavern, discuss everything. Yeah, I have plenty of money to remake my army now. Okay, so, let's go find him in the tavern. Wandering minstrel, mercenary millers. Oh, there he is. Ah, Fancy J, things didn't go quite so well as I had hoped. Doe Gravith couldn't quite find it in him to overlook my little breach of the peace. Oh, he's grateful enough that I got rid of his crooked captain, a guard who will let in bandits will let in an enemy army if the price is right. But he can't exactly have me running around here as a lasting reminder of his failure to take care of things himself. Well, that hardly seems fair. Fair? This is called Radia, my boy. Kings do it what they will, and the rest of us do as they must. He didn't string me up and instead gave me time to sell my properties, even put in a word with the other merchants that they best pay me a fair price, too. That's gracious enough as kings go, but he's a weak king, as they all are here, and weak kings must always look to their authority first, and justice second. I suppose I'd do the same in his shoes. Anyway, I wouldn't go rubbing your part in this affair in Doe Gravith's face, but he's taken note of you, and decided that you're not worth hanging, and that's something to which I'll raise a glass any day of the week. He might even have a work for you, further down the road, or you can sell your spear to one of his competitors. Anyway, I hope you've learned a bit about what it will take to stay alive in this troubled land. I expect that the money you've earned won't go to waste. Good luck. Well, at least I got my start out in the land. So first I'm just going to scout out this tavern real quick before I end it for the day. I don't know who this guy is. Well, I got a companion. That's a broker, refugees, mercenaries, sick men. Do you have a need for mercenaries, sir? Me and 2 of my mates are looking for a master. We'll join you for 72 denarii. Yeah, 3 people for 72 denarii. Yeah, I'll take that deal. They're not exactly powerful at all. Hail and well met, sir. I am Master Sigmund of the Freelancers at your service. Greetings, sir. Who are you, freelancers? We are soldiers from all 6 corners of Calradia, seeking the development of the individual soldiers and the mastery of all martial arts. Men from all countries who don't want to be bound to one fighting style have been trained under my service to be generalists, to be dynamic in the field, and to take various roles as archer, horseman, infantry, scout, or anything that's needed at a moment's notice. We will wear any blaze and bear any standard and lend our strength to any worthy cause for a price. I see your mercenaries. If you're really that good, why don't I see more of your kind in the war? With this never-ending war, all the kingdoms have developed highly specialized war machines, churning out soldiers by the hundreds, specifically trained in their preferred mode of warfare. They are blind for generalists who are skilled in all modes of combat. Well, if I were to recruit them, what kind of troops can I expect? Currently, I can offer you only recruits, but you'll find that they improve quickly. Just a few battles and they'll be formidable warriors. Okay, I guess, why not? I have 13 freelancers for hire at the moment. Each recruit costs 50. How many do you want to hire? How many can I hire? Okay, I hired 11. I've never seen these before, and they just sound interesting, so I hired as many as I could. Build up a small army. I'm just going to go take a quick look at them. They don't exactly seem powerful, but hey, I've never had these freelancers, so couldn't hurt to have some. Their equipment is... Well, I don't know why he's not wearing his equipment, but, you know, I'm just going to leave it off. I'm sure he'll put it on himself. Well, they seem good enough to start with. Okay. That will be the end of the first video. I thank you all for joining me, and I cannot wait to make more videos. And I hope you all have a nice day.